What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Italian Stallion. Ready for you to get ready for the show. It is Rebels with a Cause, Tuesday nights, 9 o'clock. And we got a special episode tonight. It's graduation time. Can you believe it? The school year, the 23-24 school year is officially done. I believe on Thursdays, a half a day. But tomorrow's the last full day. Seniors have been done since the spring day, that Friday. But we're going to give a shout out to all the seniors there on the football team and basketball team and their contributions. And I know Shane O'Mack's got some seniors he wants to recognize when he coached them when he was working with the Bearden program as well. So I want to give a shout out to them. But remember, guys, it's that time. It's Rebels with a Cause, because remember, the cause don't stop when the clock hits zero. And for these seniors, their cause, their journey, their dream is just beginning. And we're going to give messages to them of what we would like for them to know, because listen, if we did have people that told us when we were in your position 22 years ago, to do this, do that, and, you can be stubborn and so forth. But let me tell you something, those people, you might think, oh, they're old and full of crap. No, they got experience, and you need to listen to that, because if they could do it over again, and I know if we could do it over again, we would have done some things different. But it's your cause now. You guys are the future. You are rebels with a cause, whatever your cause is, and hopefully it contributes to making the society more loving and growing. But that's my soapbox. But we'll give our messages to that. Of course, I also want to just say that the views and opinions of this program are not affiliated with those of any other organization or West High School. These are solely mine, Shane O'Mack, two pairs. This is our opinion only. And remember, it always comes from love. That's all what it always comes from, to make sure that your cause is the best cause that can be. I want to give a couple shout outs real quick to my gal, Miss Kim Castle over at King's Chamber. Definitely getting close for her grand opening. I saw some signs. I know she's excited, and definitely go pay her a visit, especially when the shop's up and running. And got to give love to another rebel with a cause, a class of 2003 guy I love with all my heart, Mr. Alex Thatcher. Him and his family, the Knoxville Coffee Company, there in the heart of Marble City off of Sutherland Avenue. They make a good brew. It'll be good any day of the week, any time of the day. So go pay them a visit and show them some love, like all rebels do with each other here with Rebels with a Cause. But without further ado, let me bring on my first co-host. He is the 2003 Mr. West. He's one of the hardest working men that there is in anything that he does, and he puts a lot of heart because that's his cause. That's his passion. And most importantly, he has been the voice of the Rebels and Lady Rebels for 18 plus years, as well as doing other sports for whoever needs him to do it. He shows those kids nothing but love and appreciation. Let's bring him on. The one, the only two-pair Tate. Brian Tate, what's going on?
What's up, man? How are you?
Oh, brother, you know what? I'm going to tell you this. Tuesdays, work-wise, have always been hard for me, but I'm going to tell you this. Just the fact that I get to be with you, my brother, and my brother Shane O'Mack, and we talk Rest Rebels and sports, it just makes the day just, finish up on a really high, happy note. And it's a very special time, man. How's things going with you, brother?
It's going good, man. The reason why we had to switch to Tuesdays, well, we're normally like Wednesday nights, but I'm at the Brickyard on Wednesdays with the Lyricist Lounge show with DJ Aiko, spending every Wednesday at the Brickyard, and then it's a great spot for MCs, producers, good mixer. You know what I'm saying? For as guys that are really in the industry that can help you get radio placement and so forth like that. So
I
and
love it. I love that, man. That's awesome.
yeah, yeah. So, right now, just mostly AAU basketball, just keeping my ear to the street on that and seeing some things. And it's always a great time for as that, just of looking at what players are doing, like Reese Clark is looking really well in AAU. Jalen Hill's looking good. Devin Martin is looking good. The guys that I've been really impressed with, though, is I've been really impressed with Mike Nelson. Mike Nelson is about to be an entire problem. If he's coming off the bench to relieve Jalen or starting, the guard play is just going to be phenomenal. The way Reese has been playing, this summer. I mean, this spring, he's just really he's really taking it upon himself as being one of the better guards. And I think as far as Garrett Birch coming back, working himself back into that rotation, it's gonna take a little time, but I think he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be primed for a big senior season. Like I really do. I really like the way um, he's just let this injury take its course. He's not gonna play AAU, which I was sad about.
Yeah.
Like,
Because this is when colleges look at you and stuff like that.
yeah,
So, yeah.
but more than likely, I think the plan for him is to walk on at UT, and I think if he walks on and he really dedicates to the grind, he may time sophomore junior season, just because he's getting taller. Like a dude with that height and it can shoot the way he does. That's why I said Dupree and Schuler and Birch. We need the law firm of three.
We do.
Like we definitely need it. Devin's getting offers left and right.
And it's just going to get better. I mean, it
Um,
really
Devin,
is. So.
he's the best. I mean, he's the best player on the team. Like,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Like when you see the guy who is the guy, he is the guy.
Mhm.
And then it's after Devin, it's Kevin. I think,
Mhm.
and then the way Reese played the entire season, being the MVP of that tournament, I just feel like Reese is continuously becoming better at the two guard position. But like I said, this team goes as Jalen Hill goes.
That's
Jalen
it.
goes, this team goes.
Yeah. I'm giddy about Mike Nelson hearing about that because the story behind that, okay, the
Yeah.
story.
The
The fact that he
story,
missed the fact that he missed it. And listen, what coach has rules. This is what happens. You can't
right,
make an exception. And rather than cry about it, take your ball and go somewhere else. He is going to use that fuel like an animal and tear that
I
roof
feel
off that
sorry.
cage.
I feel like I told him, I
Cause.
said, I feel sorry for any guard that guards Mike Nelson next year. I said, the dude, the dude didn't get to play this year, right? He
Hmm.
didn't get to play at all this year. And he sat and watched every single West High game. He
Every
was at every home game. He was at every home game sitting down in front next to Sleepy, next to, it. I will commend his mother, um, Ash, like a phenomenal mother. And you know what I'm saying, raising him. And you know, we went to school with his uncles. So we know how good Mike Nelson can be. We know. Like I told him, I was like, dude, I had to guard AB. He's the
hmm
point essentially. If there's anybody that ever busted my ass,
It was AB.
oh, AB bust my ass.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to him. He follows the show. He's a rebel with a
But
cause.
but
Love
he
him.
wasn't the first person to bust
He
my ass.
no.
Not
He
the
just
first,
was. He was
but
just one of
he
those
definitely
ones.
was
So
on the list. Like,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. AB was like that. AB goes down as one of the best guards to ever come out of Knox County, out of Knoxville. Like, man, every time we play Bearden, that's the first game that comes to my mind is
hmm
AB hitting that
Hitting that shot, that last second shot,
buzzer.
or what have
That
you.
buzzer.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy. Like you were in attendance.
I was. Oh, I used to go to that game. Even I mean, remember, I was already a year removed from school, and I made sure
Right.
to go and so forth. And then I watched him his senior year too, and he beat Bearden. I mean, they won solidly by 10 points, and he was not going to be denied. And I almost got thrown out of that game because I was giving the ref the business. I'm like, how are you going to call a traveling call on the best ball handler in Knoxville? That's the most ridiculous thing. That ain't a carry, ref. He's just going fast. That's it.
Yeah.
So
He's
and
he's he's honestly he's one of the best guards to ever come out of Knoxville.
yeah,
And
he
the
really
fact
is.
that his nephew is playing on our team, I get chills just watching it, man. Like, dude, he's coming off an ankle injury. But when I tell you the
Yeah.
work that he's put in to be in that rotation, it's going to be hard pressed to find a lineup that can go Joe Dupree, who's an excellent shooter, Robert Schuler, who's becoming to get his own shot at any time he wants, just because he's putting in the work. Even though I tease Robert all the time, like, you looking like you won't go play golf. You're looking like it's tea time, Rob.
Yeah.
I'm seeing your Instagram. You looking like you're gonna play golf. But Robert, man, I'm a fan of Robert just because of how he was as a sophomore, getting tick, and you saw when he got tick what he could do. The guys that I'm expecting to make that big jump, man, Kalu Fofana. I love Kalu, man.
Our
The Prince.
prince. Our prince.
I love the Prince, man. A guy that I didn't get to see, um, a guy that I didn't get to see was, I don't know if Chris Cowan. I didn't see him for that tryout, so I don't know if he's coming back.
Mm,
So, like, I'm kind of worried because the energy and the shots he made. I love what I feel like Malik Wilson has gotten better.
hmm
This freshman group, the Kalu Fofana, Dave Sanders, now that they're sophomores, like they're sophomores now. I'm highly impressed with Sean Smith.
hmm
Sean Smith is going to be one of those guys we're going to talk about too as a sophomore. Like, I feel like he'll have a big jump his junior year, but this class is really, that sophomore class has really impressed me because, Dave Sanders and Kalu Fofana and Sean Smith, they saw a little bit of time on varsity. Out of the juniors who saw the time, you were looking at the paperboy Dane Clark and Robert Schuler as being the sophomores that got time. I didn't see Dane. Um, I didn't see Dane, and of course Jack is in football. Jack Keefe.
Yeah. He was looking so good. And keep going. So, yeah.
I feel like Jack Keefe in football, he might be one of the best defensive players at that linebacker position next year. He looked like he looked like he wants a three.
hmm
Like, for him to be able to say that he got three and the guys that he played with, and then you see what he would do as a senior. I'm just hoping he has a healthy senior year because I feel like the football the guys that play football, like Hunter Dance, who's graduated, they bring a level of intensity to basketball that basketball misses.
You're
Like,
right.
Jack brings that toughness that you need at a guard position. I feel like Jack is one of those guys that we'll definitely need in November after football season. Probably December is we might see Jack Keefe. But yeah, man, I'm just high impressed.
Can I say this? And this isn't bad, but if I can say this, I don't want to see Jack Keith before December because that means we're on that three
Uh,
beat. I'm such a jerk. I really am.
you ain't gonna see that man before.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think the basketball team will be all right without Captain Jack until he joins the fold and so forth. So, yeah.
Oh, they'll be fine without Jack. I like Jack just brings that toughness that you need on a basketball team. He just brings that grit. He can hit an open shot. He can hit a bank. He'll hit a bank three.
hmm
How many bank threes did Jack Keefe hit last year? Jack Keefe hit a bunch of bank threes.
Do you know he had a 3-pointer that was really key in one of the games and so forth, and it was really special. You know what I mean? Like that he made it, and he did it with somebody's hand in his face, if you remember, and it was like, thank you very much, Captain Jack. You know, and
I
so forth. And
started Javin Carter this year. Like, he was
he
giving
held
up
his
height,
own. He
and
held his own.
he was giving he was giving Javin everything he wanted. Javin's gonna get to his spot. Like, Javin's a D1 guy. Like, Jack, I like that though. I like the fact that he was willing to take that challenge and say, "Look, I'm guarding this guy." But
Yeah,
we
and
gotta
and
bring.
And the thing is that game, that game could have gone so many different ways if Reese, you talk about the jump Reese is making right now. I mean, when that ball kind of, he kind of hurt his knee, tweaked his knee, his ankle, or what have you, and that was rough. It took him a bit to kind of get back into form, and you saw the real Reese Clark in the district tournament. I wish a couple of other people had shown up, but it's water under the bridge. But they need to use that fuel for the cause of what we know they're capable of. There's
Yeah.
a cause there, man. There is. So
Mhm.
yeah, but
Yeah, definitely. But we got to bring on our other co-host.
we do, man. Let me just tell you this, man. I love this guy. I'm actually glad. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. The sad part about it was he said to us, he texted us, and I hope I don't embarrass him when I say this. He had a little bit of a practice. He's got some news that he's going to share, and I want to give him his. I don't want to steal his thunder, but basically he said, "Man, I might be a little bit late coming and so forth like that." And so basically, I was thinking to myself, well, you know what? Here's the truth of it. I think we'll get him on. We'll be fine and everything. And I'm the jerk that was ended up being late to get this thing started. But we're all good. We're all here. But let me just tell you this: I'm going to bring him on because he's got some real exciting news. Got something to share about his son too. So that was very nice to hear as well. He gave us some good news over the weekend in regards to that. But the truth of it is, man, we love this guy. He is the backbone of this show. Always brings the stats. Always brings the knowledge. And I learned so much about things just sitting by him while we were watching spring game and pointed out things that I may have missed. And that's what he contributes to the show. A true rebel with a cause. And ladies, he's single. So see if you want to hit him up because Father's Day is coming up soon. And he's got a birthday coming up and we got to roast him like we got roasted. So, but without further ado, the one and only Shane O'Mac. Let's bring him on, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up, fellas? What's up? How's everybody doing tonight?
Oh, we're doing good. We're doing real good. So
Yeah, I thought I was gonna be late. Last week at basically the 0 hour for signups, my son's like, "Hey, Dad, I want to play football again. I'm not sitting out this year." So I come home. That's Wednesday night. Sign him up Thursday. I have no clue in practice is starting anything. Get home about 4:45. Dad, we got practice at 6. It's like, all right, get there. Go be the head coach. He sees me. You ever coached before? It's like, yeah, I've done about 10 years. Want to help? So now I'm helping out with the 6th grade team at Carnes Middle School.
There you go.
That's awesome, bro.
There you
So
go.
I've learned the offense and defense since Thursday. Surprisingly, my son, who I work his ass off, he's been showing out of practice. Coaches are already like, this boy's been playing for a while. I'm like, yeah, he's been playing since he was 4.
That's what I love to hear.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's what I love to hear. A rebel with a cause, honestly. So
He's out on the streets right now because he got his helmet tonight. So me and my neighbors see a kid running around with blue Carnes helmet. I'm sorry.
I'll tell you this. I think what's so awesome, and I'm not going to take all the credit, but for him to do a complete 180 in a span of a few weeks, maybe months, I don't really know the timetable. I have to say, I think our show and him seeing us on the show and talking about it may have driven him a little bit to the needle to this side to participate.
Yeah, and then I think what got him was the kids at school. What was that?
I think it did drive him. I think it drove him. I think it drove him to play.
Yeah, I'm glad. I didn't want to take a year off. He's really small for his age, and since Thursday's practice, this kid's been putting down 96 grams of protein a day.
What is he? 11 now? 11? 11. Okay.
Yeah. Weighs maybe 70 pounds. And this kid, since he got out there and saw the 7th and 8th graders how big they were, was like, Dad, I need protein. I'm like, as long as you keep your speed, I'll fill you up every day. Got home last night from practice. Kid ate 3 hamburgers in 5 minutes.
That a boy. Like McDonald's hamburgers or like
like meat on the grill earlier in the weekend.
Oh, nice. Okay. Wow. Bun and all, or just the meat, or just the patties?
Patties and bread.
Nice.
Yeah.
Bread out here.
Oh, and may I throw this out there? Shane can cook, ladies, as well. He has put some extravagant feasts on Facebook that the Thanksgiving spread was quite amazing, and I like food, so I'll give a shout out when somebody can cook or do something nice. So he cooks it with a lot of love. So just keep that in mind. So telling you. So
I gotta thank my mama for teaching me how to cook.
There you go.
let me tell you something. I think that we all three were blessed with wonderful mamas. Honestly,
Oh,
that's
man.
the one thing. I wouldn't be here without my mama and my dad. Like two pair. That was, by the way, I told my dad what you had said at last week's show, and he really appreciated hearing that the legendary Mr. Freeman, who came to those games, still he hasn't gone to a game in 10 years, but he'll watch them on the computer, and he still wears that old West shirt with the football with the 98 99 schedule or whatever on there, and
Right.
that's his shirt. That is his shirt, and he still can fit in it. I mean, it's unbelievable. So
Man,
yeah.
Yeah,
I hated when my mom came to the
like
school.
your pop back in the day, at a lot of West stuff, man. Yeah, dude is a class act dude, man. I love your pops, man. He's
Yeah.
good.
A lot of people don't know this, but you know that he was on the 1960 state champion Edison Red Raiders from Miami, and you see they really didn't keep stats and things like that until like the 70s for whatever reason, but
Oh, you
they
guys, Dade County, right? Y'all
yeah,
were
Dade County. Yeah, Edison, Dade County. Yes, and so there's been a lot of good players that's come from there. William Joseph came from Edison, that played for the New York Giants. So, but the thing is that they played a team. He told me from Pennsylvania, and
mm,
because they beat the team from Pennsylvania, they claimed mythical national championship, kind of like what's done now. If like Bishop Gorman beats IMG or someone like
right.
that, mythical national champion. So and he has like the saddest story. Like they all got rings and everything like that. He took it off at the pool and somebody had taken it. And that was one of the things that he will never forget, that like he took it and somebody stole his championship ring. So
Can't he just can they not like he can't order they can't order like a replica of it?
he never, I don't know, like it was at the time. And then he went and fought in Vietnam and so forth like that. So it was a very interesting, there were some things. And then he lost his, he had um he had to come back for his mom and his sister and take care of them and so forth, and I think it kind of got lost in the shuffle, to be honest with you. It's a really
How
sad
come
story that he shared. So
he
yeah.
gives that ring if he, tells the company from like in Miami about the situation and he gets,
Hmm.
like a replica ring of
I would love to get that for him, honestly, if I
yeah,
could, so
let's try to find out can he get a replica ring?
of
It's
the state championship 1960 thing, because
yeah,
because
feel
because yeah, because they claimed mythical, but they definitely won state, you know what I mean,
I
and so
feel
they
like
all
we can
got
help him
rings.
get that state ring back.
I would love to do that, honestly. I really would. So that way him and me could take a picture. And I'm going to give you guys an update, because let me tell you this. I get questioned all the time. James, when is that second ring coming? And guys, I don't know. I really don't know. The coaches don't
Really.
even know. And here's the sad part. It would have been nice that the boys had gotten their ring, especially these seniors, and they haven't gotten them yet. It's unbelievable. It really, really
I mean,
freaking is.
they should have these rings in March.
They should have. They really should have. And
March.
last year we got them April 18th, if I'm not mistaken, and the boys got them just in time for prom. So I was kind of hoping that maybe they'd get them before prom. Well, then it was like, okay, they're not going to get them before prom. Can they get them before their last day of senior exams or whatever their last day was? Still nothing. And now it's graduation week. So I'm like, man, some of these guys are going to be going to college, enrolling early and getting ready for college and so forth like that, and may
Really.
not have the
Might even
opportunity
forget
to
about,
come right back to get them and so forth. So yeah.
they might even forget about the ring.
I hope not. God, I hope not. So what those boys accomplished, but you're right. You're right. But Belfour, get up off your ass and get those rings done. Come on. I mean, this is just me talking, not the school. Get the hell going. So
We are entitled to our opinion.
That's not
mhm.
me talking. That ain't the school.
Yeah, that ain't the school. That's the Italian stallion, being Eric Bischoff like that and so forth.
want
Don't
your
make me
next,
have to go down there and kick your all's ass.
want
But
your next
anyways,
ring, man.
that's right. I mean, listen, my middle finger's lonely, man. I'm telling you, that middle finger's lonely. So, because I
Mhm.
want it there. So, but yeah. Guys, I wanted to, chat box, if you're watching, definitely tune in and speak your piece of what you want to talk about. Truth be told, I really wanted to use this show, Shane, with your exciting news, and you deserve to be on a sideline, man. I would love it in West colors, but damn it, Carnes really I hope that they appreciate what you bring to the table there, man. That's just me
Man,
speaking, not as your friend and your co-host, but just as I would be honored if you coached my son or whatever like that.
man, I
Absolutely. So,
coach West, man. Like
yeah.
Shane is just, bro. Like to say that I've known somebody close to like 30 some odd years of my life, and just the maturation from the time I knew him in sixth grade to now as adults and being in school with them. And man, just a true friend. Like I can still remember seeing him in the stands while I'm announcing the game. Like I could see him clear as day.
Hmm.
Just a phenomenal dude. I would love you to be coaching in West, but I feel like you're gonna be coaching on the next level somehow or another, though.
That
I
is my goal, is to get to the next level at some point.
don't think you'll be in high school coaching for a while. I think you'll be coaching at the next level. Like,
Hmm.
your attention to detail and just the way you know the nuances of the game, and you just been around football like your whole life. You know what I mean? So
I love sports, and I've been blessed enough with 3 kids that wanted to play sports. So between my daughters playing basketball, softball, track, my son with baseball, football, basketball, track, like I've raised athletes, and it's made me grow as a parent, as a coach, as a man, and I love every bit of it. And it was weird this year starting out the spring with no sports. But thank God to my son, be like, Dad, ready to play again? And being back out there on that field between those lines, best feeling ever.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you one thing, guys. I definitely have a
I mean,
pep in my step.
in our group chat the other day, I started breaking out. It's like, oh, we're running this type of defense, and I would drop my weak side over here, show blitz on here to bring him. Like, it just clicks in my head instantly.
Yeah, I don't know, guys. Ever since we did that show, and I've gotten so many compliments from people about our live show a couple
that
weeks
was
ago,
awesome.
and I really, if we get some clarification of that for that Bearden game or what have you, like that win or lose, I would love to do a post show.
So
There.
I've seen both. I've seen it at Bearden, and I've seen it at LMU.
Somebody, you know what? And I need to ask Coach. I do need to ask Coach about that. And like I said, I was going to ask him if the rings come and so forth. And
So, okay, so here's what I saw on that. If you go to Mark Packer's X page, Twitter page, whatever you want to call it,
hmm
it says it's at Bearden.
yes,
If you go to Coach T's
hmm
website, it says it's at LMU.
Yeah,
hmm
As of right now, I'm sticking with the Pac-Man and where he says the game's at.
yeah, and that's the other thing too. Coach T can be edited by people like you and me. You know what I mean? So that's not completely accurate. I've seen scores wrong and stuff
It's the
like that.
Wikipedia of football.
It is, and let me tell you
like
something. I love to have it. No, I love Coach T because many times before they've introduced this Diamond Clear Media, which I'm sure you're familiar with
Yes,
too,
very
Shane,
clear about
and
it.
so forth.
Very
Like
clear.
I think that was one of the most beautiful ideas ever. And could you imagine if that had been around for us? I mean, poor Jerome Taylor and the inside perspective and community television could only show so much.
Yeah.
But if you had Diamond Clear Media when we played, I mean, hell, anybody could watch the game like wherever. You didn't have to go to the game and so forth like that.
inside perspective was the bet. Like that's what gave me the idea that we needed to do this,
Mm-hmm.
because who's the only school that reports on the best backcourt in Knox County that's not at West? They're literally across the other side of town.
Yeah.
And we talk about the Cherry Twins as if they're our own, but they're our own of Knoxville, yeah. But we know that we gotta see those dudes, and we give them a ton of respect. Like I tell Chris Cherry all the time, your kids, they have the best backcourt in the state, and we gotta see you guys. And so when we did play them again and we won, it was like, you know what? I'm still going to say that that's still the best backcourt. But like, what other show goes on location for a spring game. We talking about a spring game. We went on location for a spring game, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
It off campus.
Yeah, with that backdrop, with that beautiful backdrop of the stadium, the sun setting. We didn't even know that the northern lights were going on above. I mean, we were lighting up the scoreboard, but that's what I'm just saying. So
that's what the level of winning at West is like, bro. We're the cream of the crop when it comes to football. We're the football school now. We used to be the track school. We used to be the tennis school.
Cross country, golf.
Yo, and shout out to my man Sean Stevens for getting into the cross country Hall of Fame, a West Side legend. Shout out to Sean Stevens. If people know how fast this man really would, like, bro, Sean Stevens.
Dude, he was a thoroughbred. That boy, if I'm a stallion, that guy was a thoroughbred. I mean, the way that he had such stamina and the endurance and how he trained his body, he won every award. And then, not to mention, the guy that finished third place eventually became the first place guy in Dusty Miller, your all's class of 2003. I mean, you had two studs. And then here's the other thing, too. I had a friend who was the second place guy who has all the records at Farragut, Andy Backsaw. So it was Andy Backsaw from Farragut and Dusty Miller and Sean Stevens at West. And it was class of 2001, 2002, and 2003, honestly.
So, funny story when it comes to all the track guys who came through West. My middle school days over Bearded Middle, sprinting, you couldn't touch us. But distance, Dusty was at Carnes, and Chad Cameron was...
I remember that name.
I can't remember what school he was at, but it was always a race between those two. When it came to the distance running, and then lo and behold, they both end up going to West.
That's unbelievable. That's amazing.
I gotta give a shout out to my old track coach, Coach Crockett, who was the assistant track coach at West, but was my neighbor and my track coach at Bearded Middle, and his daughter, or stepdaughter, was in our grade, the kids in the Kilroy. So that dude trained me from 6th grade through my senior year.
Wow, dude. That's wild.
I also wanted to give a shout out to a teacher who he was actually a Bearden grad. He was my favorite teacher at Bearden my freshman year that I was there. He was Mr. Bearden and was like everybody's favorite teacher. He taught a sports movies class. How cool is that? Like, they would watch a movie and write papers on it. Yes, this is true. And anyway, when Dr. I forget his name, left Bearden to go take the Farragut job.
Coach Tate.
Yeah, Coach Tate. Yes,
Coach Tate. Jack Tate. I love that man.
Jack Tate. Yes. So that you know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. Well, anyway. Yeah, he is the nicest guy. Baseball, Mr. Stats at Farragut. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Today was his last day teaching. 36 years. So I want to give a shout out to my guy, Jack Tate, my favorite teacher, freshman foundations, Bearden High School. Honestly, it was so great.
Coach Tate, I got to meet him a bunch of times back when I was doing the scoreboard over Bearden before he made the jump over to Farragut. And then he'd still come back. Like, they were ready to name the press box after Coach Tate. And then he took the Farragut job. And Bearden to Farragut, I mean, that's
fighting words right there. So
that's like Coach Wilson taking the job at West or at Bearden.
At Bearden, yeah.
It's like Bearden, West, Farragut, that triangle.
Mm-hmm.
That's what. Let's see. It's 6 miles between Bearden and Farragut. It's got to be less than 5 between Bearden and West.
It has to be.
I live 1 mile from West Hills, and it's maybe half a mile from West Hills to Bearden.
Shane, can you look it up? Can you look it up on the computer, or your phone? What is the distance from Farragut to Bearden and then Bearden to West or whatever? I'm just kind of curious. Why not? So, yeah.
I feel like it's a really close distance when you look at just Farragut, West, and Bearden all in that weird triangle.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Uh,
noticed when
geographically, it's like 4.5 miles
4.5
from
miles.
Bearden to West.
Yeah,
And
you're right.
there was a hype video a couple years back from Farragut to Bearden because it's the Kingston Pike rivalry, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And that's 6 miles. So within 10 miles, you have those three schools.
You know what it kind of reminds me of just a little bit for basketball between the Wolfpack, the Tar Heels, and Duke. That's what it's kind of like, you know, that it really is.
that's what it
Tobacco
is in
Road.
basketball.
That's what it is in basketball. It's
Like all those kids, like roughly, like if you're a Rocky Hill kid, West Hills kid,
CBFO.
In football,
you know all those kids. Like I went to Perth with half the kids that went to Farragut and Bearden, and I was at West.
Yeah. So in football, it would be like Miami, Florida State, and Florida.
Yes.
Like in football. Because
Mm-hmm.
in a way, the way these three schools have played, it's kind of like a mixture of when Miami was at its height, Florida State it's at its height, and Florida. Like it feels like early '90s high school football.
It does.
Like football, actually, it's what it feels like.
Yeah, and you know the crazy thing is with West being right now on top, and you know Bearden is doing some special things over there. I mean, I can tell.
They've got two Chazon Smith and Jazon Thompson, both underclass All-Americans.
Yeah, and getting some big D1 offers. I saw Virginia Tech. I saw Auburn. These are not small schools here. You know what I mean? Type of.
Yeah, I'm just reading a 5-star preps report from their spring practice.
I read it too. I read it too. I mean,
Smithy, man. Shout out to Jesse Smithy, man.
Yeah, oh, shout out to them, man.
We need to get Jesse Smithy on the show. We need to get.
You know, funny story about him. Do you know his wife did her student teaching at West before she went to Farragut? I think she's still at Farragut. Laura Parker was her maiden name. Now she's Laura Smithy, obviously, and they have a couple kids together. But she was actually helped Miss Bailey teach the newspaper class and so forth. And so, yeah. So shout out to Miss Parker, as I used to say, Miss Parker.
We need to go that way. Never mind.
When it comes to high school basketball and being around high school sports, man, Jesse Smithy, he one of them ones, man. Like the way he saw a young Dre Matthew as the player of the year, and then I went back to some of those games and watched it. I'm like, yeah, he should have been playing at UT. He should have been a guard at UT, but he had a phenomenal career in Minnesota and playing overseas, and is the assistant coach over there at Austin East, man. So, see, that's what I'm saying. You don't get this type of coverage the way we doing it. Like,
no, and we know our stuff.
I brought this up a couple of weeks ago. It was back before I was on the show. I'm still curious. What's the longest an in-city kid has lasted on UT's program? Basketball wise,
I probably Brandon Lopez and Elson Turner. Oh no, did Elson Turner play at UT?
The one that went to Carter, Jordan
Bowden.
Yep. Was he the only one that made 4 years?
I think he did. I think he did make it 4 years.
He might have.
At least three.
In football, I'd say Corey Anderson, Devin Young, yeah.
Well, technically, I know he didn't play, but he was on the team. George Bullock from West, and he got 1 extra point on his senior day. Which is, let me tell you this: you talk about how Butch Jones really screwed the pooch or whatever. Who was that kicker that he loved so much down there from Florida that came up? What was his name?
Townsend.
Yeah, and
Townsend.
Yeah, and realistically, Bullock was better than him in practice. And when he missed some in games, I was like, man, you didn't give Big Leg George a chance, man. Honestly, I love me some George Bullock. And I think George Bullock still has the longest field goal in West High history. It was like 55 yards, if I'm not mistaken. It's in, I have to look at that record book again. But, but again, we don't know because remember the stats weren't kept up before 2003 because like Two Pairs pointed out, Michael Smith has made a 48-yarder and 50-yarders and stuff like that back in the day when he played soccer and football. So.
Smith had a leg. That dude had a leg on him and like hell of an athlete too. Hell of an
My sister went to school at the Colquitts, and I went to church.
Oh God, yeah.
With them, so got to be dad, older brother, and Brenton. And talk about leg power, like good God.
Yeah.
I think honestly, one of them moved back. One of them moved back to Knoxville. His kids are all.
His kids are going to Catholic, I believe.
It's Dustin's kids.
It's Dustin's, yeah. Dustin is the older one. So, but that's what I think is so funny that like Dustin went to Farragut Middle School and graduated from Bearden High, and his kids are at Catholic. But I don't.
Given where they live, they should go on Cedar Bluff.
That's weird. Yeah. But you know what? Though I will say this, man. I would say Catholic has produced some talent.
Oh, Harrison, yeah.
They produce some talent, like
Amari. So
I gotta give a shout out to one of the Catholic grads, Connor Ruth, commitment to TSU football. One of the kids I used to coach. Stud athlete. His dad's a former UT player who played under John Majors.
Really?
Yep.
Huh. Yeah, and with Catholic, me and Two Pair, I don't know if you watched that episode, Shane, when we were talking about the preseason rankings and everything, like, Catholic is in that large private school league, but they're the only school in that private school league that doesn't have dorms or, to have their people live on campus. Like some of these kids.
I don't. So obviously it's a private school for here, but I don't think it's on the levels of like your Macaulay, your Baylor's, and your stuff like that down in Chattanooga.
Battleground Academy, all them, and so forth.
It's not that level. It's, they bring in kids. You look at the Mays kids. They live in Kingston. But I think they only cover local areas. They do the far-reaching of who can I pull in from Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee, different aspects. Because one of my former players, he came back to Bearden, but he went down to Macaulay. And was living down there. So
oh, go ahead, Shane. I'm sorry. So
I don't think Catholic is on that level because Webb could be at the level too. Webb produces talent. They've always produced talent as well. But it's not the far-reaching, we're going to set you up for D1 success like your Chattanooga schools, your IMG academies.
Mm-hmm.
If they did, they're going to buy up the rest of that land and rip some dorms up, which... If they did do that, they'd buy up all those apartments right there, like Gulf Park or whatever it is over there across from behind the Whitehills. Buy all that, build dorms, turn them into dorms.
Yeah, exactly right.
You got three bedroom condos ready to
go. Yep. You never know. You never know if they want to win bad enough. I think that's what it's going to have to take.
Are you going to get a new donor or booster so they get rid of that Butch and Barb Jones scoreboard?
Oh my God. Can you imagine? So that's why, shout out to Dead End Barbecue. And they had that bologna eating contest that Joey Josh Chestnut ate 8 pounds of bologna or something like that over the weekend. Shout out to him. And they got the guy that's like the world food champion to come to Knoxville. Are you kidding me? On the intramural fields where Mary's
14 pounds of bologna?
Yeah, something like that. So yeah.
I love bologna, but I don't know about that much. It's got to be fried bologna. It's got to be
fried bologna, man. Got to be. So
you got to cut the triangle. You got to give me a little bit of mustard, a little bit of ketchup, some toasted bread. We're good.
Amen. Amen. Yeah. But you know what? Since it is graduation week, I want to talk about our West seniors, man. I'm going to tell you something. These guys, let me tell you something. I want to just tell them all. It was a pleasure, whether you were here for 1 year or all 4 years. You all were such rebels with a cause. You got better every week. You wanted it better. Your coach talked about it. I was to be a part of being able to be there with you guys, honestly. And you were just amazing. 52-6 in 4 years, 4 region championships, 2 state championships, 29-1 in the last 2 years, and holding opponents to a rough average of 11 points a game, while averaging somewhere between 30 and 45 between the 2 years on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, just domination of any type of purpose. And the fact that you were the first West team since 96 to beat Maryville, and then you were the first Knoxville team to beat them at Maryville since Central did it in either 99 or 2000. I mean, it was incredible. It was absolutely amazing. So, yeah. I mean, really, just amazing. And I just can't give you all enough props, because when they do put that banner in August on that wall next to 2022, and you guys come back and visit like Braden and some of those guys have, it'll be really awesome and it'll feel real to you. You left your mark and it's there forever in Marble City at 3300 Sutherland Avenue. And, props to the individual accolades, like, the great Ryan Scott, 2-time defensive player of the year in 5-star preps, over 500, over 400 tackles, winning games by the interception against Alcoa, the fumble recovery on the kickoff return by Maryville, and sealing the game that way. I mean, you were just a warrior. Same with Marshawn Bauer. Same with Anderson Smith, C.J. Smith. Connor Cummings with the 2 touchdown catches, Thade Sterling, Six Horde with those 3 interceptions and batting down that pass against Page. I mean, the list goes on and on. Britton Carver and John Whitesell blocking their butts off on the offensive line. Hunter Dance, I mean, just doing your thing at quarterback, dropping dimes and just managing the game perfectly and getting better and better every week. I mean, am I missing anybody right now? Honestly, so it was fun. I mean, Bryson Leva, the other outside linebacker. So
did we say Six? Was Six a senior this year?
Six was a senior. So yeah, they have it. I think they might have it listed wrong, but he's a senior. You got to give some love to Aiden Mohammed and Joey Wilson on that defensive line there. They did their thing. I mean, it just goes on and on of how special. Patrick Schmidt, all-time field goal points in a season for West High School. He's got that record. So yeah, shout out to Patrick Schmidt.
Peace.
He was awesome. I mean, I just want to give my props to those guys, and it was a pleasure watching you guys get better every week. And I knew deep down you could win this thing. And then when you started to believe, it was game over for the other teams. And I can only hope that this rising senior class, because, Shane, I don't want to, bring this up, but I'm going to. Do you know that if this senior class does have a perfect season, they by default would then become the new winningest senior class and so like basically 2022 became the winningest senior class, and they only held it for 1 year to get done by the guys that were behind them. And then this group, if they go perfect 15-0, could become the winningest senior class, and so forth. It's just insane. So, it will be tough.
Yeah. I've never seen a school getting covered like what's going on at West. Like I've never. It's like it's happening in real time.
It is.
We're doing this show as a team was competing for a repeat.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're pushing for the 3-peat.
Like. We're reaching dark waters, people.
Mm-hmm. And it's never been done in 5A. That was the most mind-blowing thing to me, because I was thinking to myself, And I was like, wasn't Maryville 5A during that time? And no, what happened was Maryville skipped 5A altogether and jumped from 4A to 6A. So they weren't
So,
in.
so when they reclassified everything, they took
That's
everybody,
when
they took 4A and then turned it into 6A and then 5A, which is its own separate.
Yes, exactly. So, and realistically, you know, the other thing too is I think about some of those Ravenwood teams or Oak Ridge or Riverdale. Oak Ridge hasn't won a state title since 1991, but you look at Riverdale when Gary Rankin was there before he made the jump to Alcoa. They were the guys in 5A. It was either them
Yeah.
or Oakland. You know,
Yeah.
like I mentioned Ravenwood. Smyrna won 2 back to back, but realistically, since they've gone to the 6 classifications, there have only been Central and West that have gone back to back. Central probably could have competed for that third one had Mosier not left them. You know,
How many did Alcoa win in a row?
Alcoa. Well, interesting enough, Alcoa won from I want to say '05
I thought it
to
was 3.
Well, they did win. So if you're talking consecutively,
Yeah.
they've won from '05 with Brandon Warren and Dustin Lindsay. '05 to 13 was the first run, and there was like what 8 titles. I think I'm thinking
Yeah.
they lost in 14. They literally lost right before West won their first one. I was there and I was shocked to see it happen.
Yeah.
And so then West won our first title in 14, but they have won every year since 15. So now you add another 8. So they've won 16 titles in the last since 2005.
I saw a TikTok the other day. It was talking about best athletic school in the state. With Alcoa state titles, Alcoa football wise, Alcoa is the top.
Yeah, 23 total. Yeah, 23 total. So, and realistically, if it wasn't for 14, I mean, you'd be talking about 18 straight in a row. I mean,
Alcoa is 4A, right? Or are they still 3A?
They are still 3A. So, and you see some of those title runs, some of those were 2A when they won them and so forth like that. And they've been in 3A. Now, they could make the jump to 4A. And I think that
the only thing that jump to 4A is if the state or TWSAA mandates it because they've destroyed 3A.
Yeah. I mean, I know they go by the numbers, but with the amount of, I think every boy in that school plays football, it seems like, or some sport. I mean, in baseball, they're competing for state right now in the 2A. They have made it in the 3 major sports of football, basketball, and baseball, and they could technically win the baseball 2A championship.
I didn't know what they're feeding those kids out there, so I can feed it to my son.
It's different in Pistol Creek, guys. It's different.
I'm just trying to make college expenses cheaper. I got 3 kids.
Have you seen the price of groceries right now, man? I'm telling you.
My little daughter goes off to college after his following year, and I'm already looking at spending $100,000 for college at UT.
Good old Aluminum City.
Yeah, Aluminum City. So yeah, you know what I also think too, Pair. I want to give you a shout out because do you know I heard you in a playoff game years ago when Wes was playing Oak Ridge and you were getting the crowd hyped up. You said Atomic City. Are you ready? Talking to the Oak Ridge students. And then you said Marble City. Are you ready? And ever since that game, I have always called it Marble City. I have like that. Like Troy Smith was asking about it. And it's just like, dude, it's Marble City. Like that's our area, Marble City. So
it's named Marble City.
And it even says that sign right there by Liberty. Welcome to Marble City. I've taken pictures of that sign. So
yeah. Hey, all I'm saying is I'm the only one whose name is on the high school grounds. My last name is on the school grounds.
It is
the home of the original airport. Even thank my family for the donation.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, I mean, shoot, I mean that's just crazy to me that like we are Marble City. I mean, Farragut can say they're Farragut, but we have city after the name. You know, like you've got Powell, that's Powell. Halls is Halls. You know.
So am I the only one who finds this a little weird? Is that West is located in Bearden?
Yes.
And Bearden is located in West Knoxville.
Yes, because Bearden Elementary used to be Bearden High School.
Yeah, my mom and my aunt, my uncle all went to Bearden Junior High, which is now KAEC / West Bearden basketball.
Yep. That's how back then. And
my mom was
Bearden
the last class to go there as Bearden Junior before Bearden Middle started.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I love Bearden Middle though. Bearden Middle was
the stories inside that school.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, dude! I was thinking about that. Like, I'm glad I'm glad that I'm so removed from that time. Like, from 6th to 7th grade, that transition of it going through school, man, it will change. Like, you got to really prepare yourself for high school, because middle school is kind of middle school. You can get away with much, but it's like it's gonna come back to haunt you in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I lived in ISS in 7th grade. I lived in that room.
Just getting in trouble for no reason, bro. Like,
yeah.
Who was the art teacher? Miss Johnson. She did not like me one bit. All I do is look at her wrong. I was like, you're out of class. And off to Mr. Davis's office I went.
I think we all had a teacher like that. That was my strings teacher when I played the violin at Farragut Middle. Miss Bradby hated me. She was like, "Go to the office and go see Mr.
Work teacher at Bearden Middle was Miss Guy.
oh my God!
I hope they know that they're really. I hope they're proud they're remembered for those things. You know what
Let's just say I have a neighbor who put laxative or Visine. Oh, he put laxatives in her water. Visine in her water. My entire class, at one point, we all about walked out. Like, it was. Wow. She eventually got removed, but God, that was the worst teacher I've ever had in my life.
When did this guy get removed? Was it like we were in 7th grade or
8th grade? Because I had her for 8th grade math. It was freaking algebra or pre-algebra.
You had Miss Guy.
Yep. Right next door.
Studies the math.
Yeah, because her room was next to Miss Myers. Miss Myers got Mr. Cochran fired because of things that Mr. Cochran said about her and another teacher. Then we had what was that science teacher we had? She got removed. Did we have so many teachers removed our 8th grade year?
What in the world was going on at Bearden Middle School or whatever? My God! So shoot.
Bearden Middle, the most diverse middle school in Knox County.
Bearden Middle School's a time, Shane. Like, Bearden Middle School was it when one of my homeboys said it's the craziest middle school in America. It was one of the craziest middle schools in America.
I remember straight out like
the stuff you used to see in middle school. Like, you can never. I'm so glad I went to West. West is just a phenomenal time in my life.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I went to school at the most diverse school in the country. Like, the people you meet in this walk of life, you will have.
We literally had everything from Mechanicsville, Sequoia Hills, West Hills, Rocky Hill. You had all that.
Yeah.
You had every part of what comprises Knoxville as it is.
What's that area over there called by Western Avenue behind DeWitt and all that over there? Because there were some kids like shout out to Ashley Nelson. She played softball and she went to West and she lived over there. Like, it was right off of behind the bowling alley over there by Strike and Spare. Yeah, ball camp.
Cumberland Estates.
Cumberland
Estates. You got to include them too. A lot of those guys went to West and kids like that. So yeah, for sure. So
we are. It's still the most diverse school. Like name you get every aspect of life all in one place.
I think it really prepared me for college at UT, and so forth, because there were so many people that came that had their eyes open that I'm like, I'm used to this. You know what I
It,
mean?
it,
Like, yeah, I mean,
it prepared me for how the military was.
yeah, because you have all sorts of people
Yeah,
that
I think
joining the military. I mean,
literally all they did to prepare me for was literally the backwoods country rednecks that had never seen anyone outside their cousin.
yeah, exactly, exactly. You want to know who I want to give a shout out to? Apparently, the graduation concluded about a couple of hours ago. So shout out to them. They're officially graduated from West. And I also want to give a shout out to the new softball head coach that got hired today, Miss Brandy Weaver. So I wish you best of luck with that facility and the girls, and hopefully you can get the softball program up and running and competitive. So a lot of new faces too, Perry. I mean, you got a new women's basketball coach, you got a new cheerleading coach, and now you got a new softball coach. I mean, that's pretty cool right there, man, honestly. So, yeah.
And like I said, Paul Romero, you're doing a phenomenal job at West. Like, please, Paul Romero, like, you are doing, just don't go nowhere else.
No, we gotta keep him. We gotta get Spees, and hey, shout out to Dr. Spees' husband Rob. He's
Yeah,
now the new guy at Austin East. So let me tell you something, man. The guy is a rock star, and I'm gonna tell you this: when he was at Fulton High School, there were a lot of kids doing some great things, not only athletically but also academically. Same thing with Hardin Valley, and now he's going to do some great things at Austin East. So shout out to Mr. Rob Spees, honestly.
I love Rob
A
Speeds.
cool dude. He's a
He's
cool dude.
such a cool
So
dude,
yeah,
man.
he is. So yeah,
Like,
for
Speeds,
sure.
I mess with Speeds. Speeds is tough, man. He's a good dude. Really good dude. I saw that come across the timeline. I just said, big congratulations in his family. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
You want to know something? I bet he don't even realize this, but that West Powell game last year or 2 years ago that was so competitive that West finally got that Powell monkey off their back. And the minute that Carson Jesse throws that perfect bootleg to the tight end and he walks into the end zone, Spees does this thing with like the touchdown and his arms in the air, and Pac-Man's camera gets it perfect. And it's like he don't even realize how giddy and uppity he was, and he was still the Hardin Valley principal, but he's rooting hard for his stepson, which is so damn cool, honestly. Like, I mean, he was there rooting West on, supporting his wife and stepson, so that was so cool. So yeah.
That's man.
Yeah, it's a small world. So, hey, you want to know something else too? You talk about facilities now. I was kind of looking at. I went by Bearden High School the other day, and did you know that their softball team had to pull a Gibbs where they did not have one home game this year? And I'm sure
Right.
you knew it because of your daughter and so forth like that.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah,
right before spring ball started for the middle school team, before my son decided he wasn't going to play, nice playing. But, we're obviously where we're at because we're zoning rules. But they're like, hey, parking's going to suck because they're shutting down the senior parking lot, which is that back parking lot
yep.
over there towards the downtown west side.
Mm-hmm.
So they could work on the softball field.
Yep.
But speaking of softball fields, I'm so glad West finally has a softball field.
Yeah.
Right,
Man, it was criminal. They had to go to Tyson Park and play over there. That was criminal.
Which was the old UT field.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I mean,
rest in peace to our old practice field that's down the softball field.
I know. But let me tell you something. They made it look gorgeous. That facility is.
I would call that an athletic complex at this point.
It is.
The way everything is set up over at West. Like, it is. You got the baseball field, the softball field, the football field. It is beautiful.
It is. It is. I mean, and realistically, do you know what my one thing would be? Is that I would love for the school just to get some type of I don't know what they can do to the brick if it needs to be pressure washed or whatever like that, but that would be the last thing to make it immaculate. Like, for example, I think it like looks the way it was.
What they need to do is they call either Michael Courtney or Matthew White. I think they both got pressure washing companies. And let some alumni take care of it.
I think that let them be the rebels with a cause and get it taken care of, honestly, because realistically, I look at it and it's like you don't know how beautiful inside the school is by looking at it from the outside. You know what I mean? Type of a thing. And I've not gone past the cafeteria to get my ring size. You know that it's not like back in the day where you can walk around and say hi to your teachers.
I don't think I've been inside the school since 2004.
2004. Yeah, it's way
maybe late 03. I think I came in for a basketball game when I was on leave for Christmas. So I came in. My school didn't start till January of 04. So I came home for a month during that day. I went to a basketball game. That's the last time I've been in school. So it's been 20 years since I've been inside school.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, last year I was inside the school at the auditorium when they did the ring ceremony, obviously. And that was my first time, if you can believe this, being in the auditorium at West since I did fashion show senior year when I was modeling off the tuxes.
You know, our senior year, they got rid of that.
Are you kidding me?
I remember it vividly that we were not allowed to do the fashion show.
Was that Barb? At that point?
Yeah.
She sucked, man. She sucked.
All because, you know,
she sucked.
Their guys at the school show up in a dress and it's not appropriate because she don't want to hurt her babies.
Let me tell you something. The best thing that ever was done was when Salee Reynolds became the principal at West, and it just got better from there. Because I think Barb Jenkins was the bottom of the barrel right there at West High School, trying to make it Bearden too. So yeah, I mean, honestly, Bearden too.
Shout out to your photo from my freshman year at Bearden, dude.
Did you like that? So shoot, it was Mr. Intensity.
I'm pretty sure I was handing those pants out to kids recently.
They probably. Hey, I did wash them. I will promise you that. So there you go. I will say this, man. I was 105-pound freaking safety / weak side linebacker, and I just threw my body around like an idiot. Like honestly, like I was never really told to tackle, and I actually had a touchdown that freshman year against Oak Ridge. That was pretty fun. That was awesome.
Hey, back then we could still leave with our heads.
That's true. That's true. Nobody taught you different. So, but yeah, shout out to Joey Barnes, who was the quarterback on that freshman team, and he threw me that touchdown against Oak Ridge. So that was awesome. So, but Bearden's facilities are just incredible. They even have something carved out there in that senior lot for the golf team to practice swinging the golf, and they have their senior pictures. Their 2-pair. I'm not making this up, man. Like they have the golf team have their own little thing, and they've got like pictures of all the teams. And,
I'll give them credit for what they do over there. They will recognize every senior if you are in something. Even if you went like used to, it's just football players got a little poster hanging up. This year, it was you had the cheerleaders, the dance team, the football team, the band, and ROTC all in front of the stadium.
Crazy.
I didn't really see anything for tennis. Basketball wasn't sure to go to basketball games this year because my daughter is not cheering, so no reason to really go. Let her go do your thing. But they support their athletes. I would do that. They support them.
And then their dance team is national champions 2 years in a row or whatever. Like
that. Shout out my boy Jordan James, son of Andre James, former UT linebacker. He's the multi-time national champion. Jumped on that dance team.
Look at that.
I got so many players I got to give a shout out to that are graduating.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Give some love to the Bearden guys, honestly.
God. Let me go through this list. All right, so we got first we got Sam Tummins. Then we got Cody, Magisha, Braden, Ross, Preston, Baylor, Braxton, Quincy, Kai. God dang, there's so many kids. Scrolling through. Jack. Hold on. That might be it. Yeah. Oh, and Jackson Green. And Baylor Donald. Like, dude, there's probably a good 30 kids on that team that I've coached.
That's awesome, man.
That is awesome.
And then you got kids with the Catholic and to Farragut and Hard Valley. And I wish those kids nothing but success. I've watched those kids grow up since the time they were 7, 8 years old, all the way through high school. They put my daughter play with them. Unfortunately, she didn't graduate. She had to step away from school for her own personal reasons. But man, those kids were, I love those kids like they were my own. I wish them all the best in their future endeavors. I know some got college scholarships to go play the next level. Some got preferred walk-ons at UT. Those kids are amazing kids. Shout out to their parents for raising tremendous young men across the board. Their presence in my life will be missed, and I'm glad I got to be a small part of their lives over the last decade.
You know, I teased it at the beginning, and I am really serious. Before we transition to talking about other sports, the NBA, NHL playoffs, whatever, and what's going on and with college football coming up and everything like that. Two pair, I want you to give a shout out to the two basketball players, seniors that graduated today for West. A shout out to all the athletes from West that graduated just a couple of hours ago. I also want all three of us to give a message of what we want to give advice to them, all of us, each get a couple minutes to talk about what's most important as they take this next step and continue the cause of being a rebel with a cause, honestly. So
Yeah, man, like big shout out to Dane Britton and Hunter Dance, two seniors from the basketball team. I got to work with these guys from the time that they were freshmen to the time they were seniors. Just good gentlemen, always respectful, always reached out. Funny young men. And I just tell them, like, really just, seize the day and take the advantage of your opportunities because, I know Hunter sees the day of football. And it's like, Dane, I think with that injury, man, it was just tough to see him be out for such a long period because this was his senior year and this was going to be a big year for him, man. And it's just like it was tough getting him into that rhythm with the wrist. And I just so wish for like nothing but health and success for these two young men as they go on to that next step in life. And they truly are rebels that we will remember for a long time just because of what they did off the court. Like, being true gentlemen and being respectful. That's something, we love to see. And just get good character guys, guys that are going to change the dynamic of your school, you know what I mean, from the way they are as men. Good character, young guys.
amen. Amen. Shane, what would be, you took a little bit of a different course and so forth. You entered the military right after high school, but what would be your what would be your advice? You've lived life, you've seen the horrors of war and everything like that, but what would be your advice for these rebel graduates and all the graduates that are going to be taking that step here in the next week or so, wherever in all the states in the country? So, yeah.
I would say, so this is coming from my personal perspective and how life was for me. If you have the opportunity to get away and become your own man, your own woman, get away for a while. Don't let everything define you that's here. Get away for a little bit and then come back home. Find yourself. Put all your passion into whatever it is you love. Give it everything you've got. Find who you are. Don't rely on everything around you to define you. Make your own path. And you will find your way back home. That's what worked for me. I knew I had to get away from, I had my opportunity to go to stay in town. I wanted to get away, become my own man. And I knew that certain things around here would hold me back, given my family dynamic. So what better thing to do? Serve my country, get away, become my own man, come back home a different person. A better representation of who I am and what this city taught me to be.
Amen. Amen. Two pair, you got the floor, brother. You got the floor.
I already said I already said what.
Oh, this one would be to all the graduates. What advice? Yeah. Now this is yours. What would you give? What would you give advice to all the graduates? in terms of what you've learned in your life experience since you've graduated high school?
Man, enjoy every second because life is very short. Really, you know what I'm saying, be conscious of your health. Really just hone in on a skill set and be consistent in whatever you're doing because consistency will show you so much in life. Like you really got to be consistent and growing. Like never stop learning and never stop growing and never stop being able to use a skill because you got to have some type of trade or learn how to do something that can last you for a long time in life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. My message to the class of 2024 is live, be good, be better. You have an opportunity that a lot of people don't get to get. I'm sure that you've seen classmates that didn't quite make it for whatever circumstance. Consider yourself lucky that you've gotten to this point, but you've worked hard for it. And that cause doesn't stop. You have got to put everything you have into being successful, and you can do whatever you really put your mind and heart into, whether it's continuing to play ball in your respective sport, if you're joining the military, if you're going to a university to pursue a career, if you are going to a trade school to learn a trade. Everybody matters. What you do in contributing to this thing that we called life is the most important thing. And do not let anybody stand in your way. Don't let anybody deter you, whether it's a classmate, a rival, a friend, a parent, or anything of that nature. This is your life. You get one shot at it, and that's all that is important. Don't take risks that could endanger your life. Your life is precious. Don't risk that would take anybody else's life. Love, love hard, give love, uplift, and more than anything in this world, if you are blessed to have children, let them be better. Make them better. Learn from your mistakes. Don't keep making them. And most of all, enjoy every moment of this life because it's all we know, it's all we got. And just remember that cause doesn't stop, even though the clock has hit zero. Make your destiny, live your dreams, and do everything you can to achieve happiness. I want to give a shout out to Larry Frank, our brother that's a big supporter of the show. He writes, "Dear graduates, enjoy your moment, but know that life has officially begun. Do not take for granted a second of the rest of your life as it unfolds, one day at a time, and never forget your roots." This is the universal message I would give to all graduates as I'm 29 years past my graduation. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Well said.
Well, good. And so we're going to throw our fake tassels in the air, and we salute. And I'll tell you this to the juniors that are now officially seniors. It's your time, baby. It's now time for the class of 2025 to
No,
show their
give me one more day before my junior daughter.
It's hitting you all at once, man. I'm telling you. So
well,
just
I was talking to my oldest daughter today. She lives with her boyfriend now. And dude, there's some things that happened in her life. School just didn't pan out the way she wants to. And she was talking to me today. She said, "Dad, I hate the way things went because they'll be graduating this week." And my son just walked in the room. But I should be experiencing all that with her this week. And she's actually getting ready to jump on a bus tomorrow. So I got worried dad syndrome going on. She's going down to Texas for a concert with her best friend.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, man, she's closer to 19 now than she is 18. I'm sitting there like, how do I have a night? Oh, stop for a second. How do I have an almost 19-year-old daughter? One going into her, getting ready to go into her senior year, and I'm sitting there like, where has graduation still feels like it wasn't that long ago, and I've graduated, gone to war 3 times. I've got 3 kids. Like, it still feels like there's times I look back, it's like 19 doesn't feel that long ago.
It doesn't.
And here we are. I'm 40 in 2 weeks. You can show Keegan. I'm 2 weeks away from 40. And then life comes quick.
And shout out to that, by the way. That roast is happening, so we're gonna love that. So,
yeah, well, my birthday is on Friday, June 7th, so you get to roast me on Tuesday.
Perfect.
If you need any ammo, reach out to Audrey McGee, and she will give you everything you need to know.
Okay, all right. I might even send her a link to come on. Honestly, I might.
Oh,
I might just do that.
That's
so.
humble me.
Yeah, give me an email address, and we will send it to Miss Audrey McGee, and she can come in and roast and start it going. So for sure. So yeah, I see, little man. Show the side of the helmet. I want to see the side of the helmet. So, no, leave it on. Leave it on. So yeah, leave it on. That beautiful hair got chopped off. I'm so mad about that. So
no. He was taken to his great grandfather's barber shop.
Oh Lord,
and dude butchered it. So shout out to Holly and her girls at Tune Up.
Oh my God.
For hooking my boy up.
Yeah, the Carnes location, right? The Carnes location.
Carnes location. Because I walked in there, they saw it, they're like, oh my God, what happened? And I was just like, his great grandfather was a barber. He screwed it up. And I was like, fix it now. You are not putting full pads on. Shh. Boys hype, you got pads today. You think you never played football before, but this boy's been playing for 7 years.
Oh, it's so exciting though.
Yeah, I walked in, like, hey, I need the beard hooked up, and I was like, please fix my boy's hair. And it took care of it.
I remember when you were right next to me when you got the call that it got cut in the first place, and you really wanted him to grow that out, and so
well, he wanted this all before football.
Yeah.
So now that's cut, I'm good for until we hit pads.
Absolutely. Well, and here's the other thing too. Larry had a couple more things that were funny. Seniors, after you officially get your diploma, do the suck it gesture and cue the DX music. Break it down. You know what? I wanted to do that for Barb Jenkins, but I was afraid I'd get kicked out and they take the diploma back. But anyway.
Okay. So congratulations. Me and Jasmine were the same grade because I got held back here. She started earlier. We had a dance that me and her had made up at home called The Tree. And all I'll say is, if you're a guy, you use your tree. And she's like, bro, you got to do it. And I was this close to graduation. I was like, nope, my grandfather's up in the stands, and he will beat me to death if I do that. Mm-hmm. But I was that close. And yeah.
Just so many memories. So yeah, and this is so funny. Larry put, dude, I'm 47. I remember when Tom Bodette told everyone to check into Motel 6 because they'd leave the light on for you. So yeah. Hey, remember we were talking about college football back in the day with the game day set after the games and everything like that. Do you remember how it used to be the Regency Inn or the Residence Inn report or whatever, and they'd always have that hotel commercial, Residence Inn, and they were so luxurious suites and everything like that. And then the other one that was funny at that time was where do you think that you stayed at? A Holiday Inn or something? And the guy would just pretend like he was something or whatever. Like that was
a Holiday Inn select last night. What about you?
Yeah, what about you? So yeah.
That's right there with the Grey Poupon commercials. I used to think Grey Poupon was the greatest mustard ever because it looked so fancy.
Listen, commercials are crap now compared to when they were back then because I'm really tired of seeing commercials that are just promoting something and it's like what do you want us to whatever you're advertising use it or devour it because you're pretty much turning me off that I can't watch this and I'm going to fast forward this. So
Dude, my kids now, like if they call it ads instead of commercials. I'm like if an ad, I'm like skip through the ad. Why don't you pay for no ads? I'm like, y'all realize like in our day growing up, like commercial came on, either as you want to see what it was to buy, or you've got 2 minutes to run to the kitchen, grab your snack, grab your drink, jump back on the couch, be in front of the TV before it came back.
yep.
Like there was no
You miss it.
pause.
There was no pause, absolutely. So
Like, you learn how to take a piss, pop some microwave, grab a drink, and do all that within 2 minutes.
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, switching gears now to NBA, man. How amazing was this past weekend of games? I mean, shout out to my boy Marky Mark Machado and me, catching a few games on the TV and so forth. I mean, it was absolute fire. And there really was not a game that was not entertaining that closed them out. I mean, two pair, we actually thought that the Knicks would get it done on game 7, but
Yeah.
the Pacers with this historic shooting that has never been seen before, and they basically let Stephen A. Smith and all Spike Lee and all the Knicks fans walk out with their tail between their legs, man. And the Pacers did it to the Knicks again,
I
just
can't
20 something years later.
I can't believe they did it at Madison Square. You know what I mean? Like I just did not see that happening. Didn't expect it. Kudos to the Pacers because right now they're leading against the Celtics. Like I didn't really believe. I just don't believe in the Pacers, man. I feel like this is Boston's year to finally get it done. Like if Boston does not win out of the East and they lose to these guys, like it's gonna be sad because out west, I think the West is actually the best series. Like I feel like that is our NBA Finals, Dallas and Minnesota. Like they just been playing the best out of the West this year.
Yeah, I agree. And let me tell you something, man. Kyrie Irving and Luca. And then what about Derek Lively, who I've been talking about, man? He was the difference
Yeah.
in that series, man. Let me tell you.
How about PJ Washington though?
PJ too, man, coming along. So
Like
shoot.
that trade for PJ Washington to get Daniel Gafford, like big momentum swift change.
Yeah, Larry Frank wanted to finish up the hotels thing. In my early adult single days, I can confirm that those hotels were dingy, smelly, and had hard beds. Don't ask how I know, laugh out loud. Yep. And then, speaking of 30-year flashbacks, how about Spike Lee punch in the air versus the Pacers yet again? Somewhere Reggie was going like this. So, yeah, but. So.
All I think about those hard beds was we had a lot of hotel parties in the Marine Corps. So.
Oh, I bet you all did. So, hoorah.
Lots of trips to Wilmington. Fun times in Wilmington.
Yeah.
Shout out to the hot dog stand outside the club at 3:00 in the morning. Knox needs one of those. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely. I'll tell you another game, man, that just wow. The Minnesota Timberwolves. I thought they were done, and Ant-Man said, "No, sir." I mean, that is a bad man right there. The Ant-Man. That is a bad dude. So, yeah. I just can't believe Denver lost 3 home games.
That's crazy.
Yeah, 3 home games. It's like every team won on the other's court or whatever like that. And realistically, I loved what Ant-Man said to the people in Denver when he was leaving Game 5. And I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say it. They were ushering him out of the locker room, and he basically told the crew there at the arena that they play at. He said, "We're going to see you motherfuckers like Game 7." They hadn't even played Game 6 yet. He said it just like that, and I was like, "Whoa, this boy ain't playing. This boy ain't playing." So yeah.
And I like it. I love it. The fact that the fact that he points to the scoreboard in Jokic's face. Like Jokic is getting mad at Ant-Man for waving and telling him bye. Thing. Hell, you just beat the defending champs, boss. It's over with. It's done. Like you got packed up at the crib.
Yep. And here's the thing. I remember an old saying from our day:
Mm,
if you can dish it, you better be able to take it. And I'm gonna tell you this, man. Don't sell those Mavericks short. They ain't a regular 5 seed. And the way Kyrie and Luca, PJ, Derek Lively, they're a team. They like each other. Not that Minnesota doesn't, but I'm going to tell you this: there's a lot to be said about experience. And I'm not saying that Dallas is going to run over them, but I
right.
think the experience of Kyrie and so forth and the maturity could be the difference in that. I mean, with a gun to my head, I've got Minnesota in 7 games, but I would not be shocked if it's Dallas in 7 games. And I hope it goes 7 games. I
I,
want a great series. So,
I hope it goes 7. I really do. I hope it goes 7. Because I wouldn't be mad at Dallas or either Minnesota coming out. I want Minnesota to because I like Anthony Edwards. I just think
mhm.
he's sport and he's just comical, man. He's entertaining. Plus, he's a phenomenal basketball player.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's a bad dude, man. He's fun to watch. He's clearly the alpha, and that team goes with him. And they've got other great players, Cat and shout out to Mike Conley. I mean, it's amazing how he is still around when many of those other guards that were in that draft class, their career's done with, and so forth. Like, I mean, he has continued playing some great high level basketball. So yeah, and Luca. I mean, Luca's doing his thing. They're so well coached too. Dallas is very, very well coached, in my opinion. And realistically, I just expect a very competitive series. And like you two pair, I just want the best team to come out of it. I mean, I would be fine with either team. I don't have a rooting interest, but a little bit, I would love to see Kyrie win one as a shot to LeBron and so forth like that. I don't know why, but I just feel like he would get some credit for this, even though he's with Luca. But realistically, he came and had such a bad rep, had to basically dust off the bad image that came from him being in Brooklyn. This would be a hell of a redemption story. It really would for him, honestly, and so forth. You know, uh, Larry Frank even says Minnesota will lose because I think all their heart and soul went into that Denver series. Plus, they knocked off the champs. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I mean, that was a hard series. That was a hard series. I think both teams played very hard series in that one. So, yeah.
Yeah, I
What
really
do
do.
you all think about this Cleveland, Indiana? Does this even get past 5 games? I've got the
Well,
Celtics in 5.
Indiana's about to win.
Are they really? Oh my God! I got to switch this then.
All right,
Yeah.
I got to pull up on my
Wait a minute.
phone.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Yo. Oh, Boston just tied it with 5 seconds left.
Are you serious?
Yep, he made a falling 3-pointer, and the crowd's going wild at the Garden. There's the Donnie Wahlberg. Wahlberg burgers. Oh,
Oh man, your TV was ahead of me.
oh shoot.
Nice.
Wow, what a shot. With a hand in his face and everything falling away. Wow.
You know, they built it strong.
And you know what the sad thing is? Boston was was really the more rested team, and Indiana just played on Sunday. That's crazy to me. So wow, what a shot!
Mm,
Wow.
Donnie Wahlberg. How
I'll
cool.
tell, I'll tell you one thing, man. Siakam, He didn't. He played that perfect not to get the foul call because most times people would lean in and make it an and one or what have you. So or they blow the whistle. Wow, that's another bad dude right there. So yeah, look at this guy. I'll give Boston this, man. They are passionate about their teams. I'm telling you, they really are. So yeah,
They are.
yeah.
They are.
Well, watch Indiana hit a 3-pointer here from Halliburton or something. He ain't gonna get a shot off. Oh my goodness.
It's not hard to do.
Overtime. Yep. By the way, any of you guys caught any of the hockey by any chance and so forth? I'm a Florida Panthers fan, obviously being from Miami. So
First guy.
yeah.
Dallas Stars. How about Edmonton though?
Oh, dude, they looked dead in the water, and then they came back. I mean, shoot.
Connor McDavid, man.
Yeah, I'll tell you this, man. I would like to think that the Panthers could maybe get it done, but they struggled against the Rangers when they played in the regular season. So I'm just hoping that we don't get swept or something like that. So, but yeah, because New York Rangers are playing pretty good. So, yeah. But yeah, I really think though, whoever does come out of the West, there probably are going to be the NBA champs. I mean, stranger things have happened, but that's just what I think and so forth. So yeah. Minnesota needs to have Jey Uso entrance music as they are announced. I can see Ant hyping the crowd up. It's just me, Oos. Day one is. I love it. So yeah, I'll tell you one thing, man. Main event Jay has really taken it by the horns, man. I'm telling you, SmackDown is so boring to watch now, and
You
Raw
know
is
why.
now the superior. Yeah, we know why. We
why.
know why. So yeah, I mean,
Why?
yeah. I don't need to say it. Everybody already calls me a hater, and that's fine. I love my Roman Reigns. I'm sorry. So yeah, I ain't apologizing for it.
Get somebody who can carry a title. Oh wait, that's it out loud.
Dude, I'd rather see Liv Morgan with the championship than that guy. I'm sorry, man. Honestly, like she can carry that men's title around.
It would be more entertaining.
It would be. It would be. I mean, and it stinks, dude. And now you're having to do a Logan Paul thing, and I mean, why? Why? Honestly,
this caused a cave to the whining ass fans that wanted Cody to finish his story.
Yeah. I mean, let me just tell you this. Are we for certain that if they had stuck with the original plan of Rock versus Roman would have won and still held the title? Am I right with that and still gone to film this movie?
I think Rock would have, I don't know. I think somehow Rock would have got it somehow, some way. But the storyline would be so much better.
Man, Larry always brings it. Larry Frank and me are the Cody Rhodes of out of the club. SmackDown sucks because the tribal chief is gone and we got Tranny Molly Holly as the champion. So yeah, I mean, what's up, man? How you doing? What is going on?
That is funny.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just unwatchable. I mean, I fast forward through it now. It's terrible. So Damian Priest, Drew, they're hilarious. I mean, they're entertaining. I just think Raw right now is 3 hours, and they could maybe go back to 2 if they want to trade a couple of their stars to make the 2 hours of SmackDown actually seem watchable, because it right now is unwatchable at the moment.
I just need to see Roman come back and we get old bloodline versus new bloodline. And see, we the story's building for it. We're going to wait for Rock to finish whatever movie he's doing. And
Roman's doing a movie right now too, from what I understand. So.
Yeah. So when all that's done, so if Roman's tribal chief,
Mm-hmm.
Rock is final boss. How is everything matched up to where it's Rock and Roman, and you get a 3-on-3 with the rest of the bloodline?
Yeah, I think what's going to happen is I've heard that Jacob Fatu is going to join the mix. And so with Jacob Fatu joining the mix, that's what's going to be your 3-on-3. The difference is it going to be Tonga and the other guy kicking Solo out and Solo going to the other side in honor of Jacob Fatu being on the Rock side? And then it's like the original bloodline, like basically Solo, his two brothers, the Usos, with Roman against Rock, Tonga, Fatu, and the other guy.
Right. I mean,
That's
Solo
what
says he's trying to be acting tribal chief.
Yeah, he is.
He's the Rock's basically like ace in the hole right now. So who joins the original? Does Ricky come back somehow, somewhere?
Maybe. The truth of the matter is that Larry has a point here. Solo sucks as a tribal chief, and you think they're holding Jacob Fatu because he would make Solo look bad. Probably because Jacob Fatu should have been the real, and maybe he is the one pulling the strings and is going to betray his cousin in Solo, and then Solo's going to have to get back in the good graces of Roman and his brothers, and so
I don't think he does.
Yeah, this is Larry's. Yeah. And how are Haku sons part of the bloodline? They aren't even Samoan; they're Tongan. I know, right? I mean, think there was enough.
Technically, Rock's ain't related to any of them. But.
Yeah, that's true. So Rock, Solo, Tama brother versus Roman, the Usos, and Jacob Fatu. That's how I see it. That's how I could see it too. That the Rock is really the final boss on the other side. So yeah, for sure. So yeah. I mean, I'm waiting for it, and I'll tell you this. One of my favorite pops of all time is when Triple H came back from the quad injury at Royal Rumble 2002 to win the Royal Rumble. That pop is just like incredible and so forth. And or maybe it was the Madison Square Garden in January before Royal Rumble. A lot of people said they should have done it at Royal Rumble, but he came back and went on to win the title and so forth from Jericho at that WrestleMania.
I think my favorite one. And this has nothing to do with my name, but Shane McMahon coming back when Vince was giving Stephanie that award. And
yes, yeah.
He'd been gone, like 7-8 years?
Pretty much. I mean, yeah.
That was my favorite one. Just like it was just like you did see that coming.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I just think when Roman comes back, everybody's just gonna that arena is gonna explode when you hear that music. Honestly, when you hear that music, and and just him being tribal chief. Larry's favorite was Brock Lesnar's return in 2012. Oh my God, yes. And then not only did he come out, he murdered Cena. I mean, Cena was bleeding, left him a bloody mess in the middle of the ring. Honestly, he beat the crap out of him in 2012.
I think it's about time for Cena to hang it up.
Yeah, he even says it. He knows it. The one thing about him,
he gave himself like 2-3 years. I think give him one more big, give him more. But now he's like, it seems like he's on the lower end, just trying to put guys over. It's not the same. It just looks, when he came out, it just didn't look right.
Mm-hmm. It did.
It's just he doesn't fit the party well.
You know what I wonder, and maybe you guys, I know there's a lot to be said about genes and things like that and so forth, but I look at Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I know he's older, but I think because he doesn't have the ring rust of the other guys, of course his career was cut short, he's ageless compared to some of them, man. I mean, I was looking at poor Shawn Michaels, and I remember that guy was like, every girl loved Shawn Michaels. And guys
the worst Rick James, cocaine's a hell of a drug. And
it is. But man, I mean, he really was living rough hard, and it's almost like it's a shame that the born again Christian didn't come like a year earlier or something, because I don't know what the hell happened after that injury against the Undertaker when his back got smashed on the casket and everything, and he herniated that disc and so forth. So yeah, I mean,
man, this game, 121-121.
Yeah, no, they're going at it, man. Larry goes, them roids screwed him up. talking about Cena probably, and Sean looks like a church deacon. He does. I mean, but I'll tell you one thing, he's doing some magical things with NXT. He knows what works and so forth, and I just hope that they don't waste these talents as they've done in the years past. And I think not having Kevin Dunn in the fold anymore helps. But I'm just saying, because I think Kevin Dunn, if he couldn't market them, they weren't worth a flip. So yeah, but anyway. So, yeah. Right now it's what, 123, 121. I hope I'm not too ahead of you two pair. So,
You're ahead of me.
am I? Oh shoot.
Hold on, I'm doing Hulu on my phone. See how we're at. Oh, now it freezes. Okay.
Oh, okay. Cool.
All right, I got 123, 121 with a minute 30 left.
Yeah, that's what I got. So.
Got what, Boston's ball? Yep.
Yeah. How in the world? Oh my goodness.
How do you miss that?
I don't even know how he missed that. I really don't.
Got to hit the bunnies. You can tell we're all obsessed with sports when we're all looking at our separate screens.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're giving live play-by-play. This is just as good. We're better than the commentators calling this game. So shoot. So
there's been some games in the past that I'm like, who's calling this game?
Hey, why doesn't somebody give us a Bill Walton? What poise? What poise out there?
Warren Williams, that was.
Hey, let me ask you this, two pair. Where's he gonna? What games are he calling? The Pac-12's done. Like, where's he calling games now? They need somebody.
He's all calling UCLA wherever they go.
He's being welcomed back. So
anywhere he wants, man. It's Bill Walton. Bill Walton, dude, though.
Yeah. Well, whatever happened to Luke Walton, man? What's he doing? Coaching still?
He's an assistant with, was it the Clippers?
Who does the Walton coach? You know what? I think he does coach it.
With the Clippers?
It's either the Clippers or Cleveland. It's a good question.
I would pull it up, but I'm watching this game.
No, you're good. You're good. So I don't even know how he lost the handle on that one.
Let me find out. Oh no.
Oh, is that what he did? Oh, it came out of his hand. He wasn't even slapped. It wasn't even slapped. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
That's tough to win a game with 21 turnovers, honestly.
What the? Wow.
This could be it.
Oh, you had that.
He nailed it. Oh, Jay Tatum. Ooh.
Cleveland.
You're like half a second ahead. Like, what do you mean he never?
Luke Walton is with the Cleveland Cavaliers.
You're the Cavaliers. Okay.
Is he really? Good for him. Okay.
Was he assistant?
He must be. Oh, by the way, while we're talking about it, I saw something that came across my feed, and if it's BS, please tell me that it was just a prank. But the bets are for Bronny James to be the #1 pick for what?
No.
That cannot be. I mean, if what's her name?
He's 3 inches shorter than what was advertised. He's not NBA ready. This is according to 2 scouts so far. He's not NBA ready. He's got to learn to play the point guard position if he's going to be in the league. He's not been playing that position. He's got good instincts, but I don't think he's NBA ready, but he's kind of rescued himself. So he'll get signed by Lakers as an unrestricted free agent. And they'll be forced to keep him on the roster because of LeBron.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean,
if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong, but
I don't know. Do the Atlanta Hawks still want to be irrelevant and draft him #1 to get LeBron over there? I mean,
no way. He's the #1 pick. No, it's not happening.
Man.
I would definitely love to see Dalton Connect go 8th to the San Antonio Spurs. I'm hoping.
Well,
I'm
and you guys
afraid
did say
Memphis, do not draft Dalton Connect. Please let Dalton Connect play with Wimbiana. I want to see him win a championship.
yeah.
If
No,
he
and you
goes to
guys
Memphis,
said
if he goes to Memphis, he'll be a 20-point scorer. He'll be an all-star. I'll even say he'll be all NBA. But if Dalton Connect goes to San Antonio, if him and Rob Dillingham go to San Antonio,
They win a title.
they win a title.
I give it 2 years.
yeah.
They're in the playoffs.
Well, and you said that he really showed out at that combine and really raised his stock even more to be way, way up there and so forth.
Exactly.
So, don't know about Luke, but Papa Bill is still scaring the crap out of sandwiches every time he opens that jigsaw teeth of a mouth. Jaws. Oh my goodness. So, oh wow. And I'll tell you this, man. The Celtics played some really good defense down there. I mean, they just took the ball away, and it looks like they could put this one away with
Yeah,
31
4-point
seconds.
game, 31 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who the best free throw shooter is, but I'd have him the ball and make him foul him. So make it a 6-point game. Is that correct? Each team has a timeout left, or I'm looking at they're both in the bonus. One timeout each. So
I can't tell. I'm trying to watch this on my phone. So
well, and they got the line so squiggly, it's not even funny. I mean, it's like not even visible. Better get that ball in.
oh, what are they gonna call? Boston's ball.
Still 127, 123. I can't believe Boston, man.
How do you leave him that wide open?
I don't understand that. That's terrible. That's awful.
You heard.
And what are you guys doing?
You had it.
Oh, these guys. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know anything can happen in a 7-game series, but I just think whoever wins that Minnesota-Dallas matchup is going to outclass the Eastern. I mean, realistically. So I liken it to how the Lakers swept the Nets that year in 2002 after they went 7 games with the Kings or whatever. That's what I foresee or what have you. So
That's still one of the most controversial Western Conference Finals ever.
don't even get me started. I was such a big Kings fan of that team. Oh my God, I was sick to my stomach. Oh yeah.
That was some man. If we knew what we knew now,
Mm-hmm.
Touche. So
we knew what we knew now. Like, who would have ever thought like the gambling would be that prevalent back then? Like,
mm-hmm.
and it's like, damn, who's to say it wasn't going on before Tim Donaghy?
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah. Guys, you know, as we finish up the show, you know, I would like if you guys are down, maybe we can get a guest on next week. If Romero's free, you know, and able to do it now that school's over, I'd love to have Mr. Romero on. If you can to pair, and if we can't, that's okay. You know, we can somebody else, or you know, we can do one of our football panel discussions that I'd like to have planned. I know that we've got the roast in 2 weeks for Shane, so that show's already kind of taken care of. So,
Let's see how far we're out from that. I got prep for that one.
Yeah, and I think we're getting close to the NBA Finals starting by then. I would think so. In 2 weeks,
Yeah, it would be
June 7th. They always like to start June 6th. So
2 weeks. It'll be June 4th.
Okay.
My birthday's that Friday.
Yeah, and they always like to start the series on a Thursday, right? They like to start that like that first week of going into that second week of June. It feels like. So,
the amount of birthdays I spent watching the finals growing up, like that was like the epitome. What do you want to do? It's like I want to watch Jordan win our championship.
Yeah. Sexy Red is confirmed for NXT next week. I hope Undertaker chokeslams that broad through a table. That's hilarious.
Red is going. Now they struggling now. They picking that up.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I'm curious of how these
Man, I like
conference finals go. So
sexy, sexy red. Somebody's got to pick a sexy red for something. She's all right.
yeah, for sure. For sure. Uh, well, guys, let me just see if we can wrap it up there and so forth. It's been another great show. And Larry Frank, thank you for contributing. And everybody watching, either live or recording, remember, if you can do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. It really does something for the algorithms, gets our show out there. I'm proud to say that we actually had 27 views on last week's show, which is up from our normal 15 or 16. So, shout out to that. Got 34 subscribers. So definitely, spread the word, hit that like and subscribe button, because whether you watch it live or recorded, it gives us so many views and gets the message out there, because, we are rebels with a cause. That's our thing. And we want to make sure that everybody's cause is out there. Because especially it don't stop after the clock strikes zero. So just keep that in mind. So,
I know, I
Shane,
know, I
go
know
ahead,
my
bud.
son, I know my son's going to watch this later, even though he was down here. Hey, son, keep watching.
Yeah, and excuse my French on that one. I should have been more careful with that. But anyway,
I'm Marine. My son hears every word now.
that is true. That is true. So
He already hit me up today. Was like, Dad, the other players, they say bad words. Does that mean I get to? Boy, I hear you one time. One time you run bleachers.
oh man, yeah. Speaking of which, I went for a nice jog this morning, so I've kind of got a little bit of. I got to get ready for this flag football game that we're going to be doing too. Two pair, talk real quick about that, man. What's going on with this? Because there's been some people talking about it on Facebook or whatever, from what I understand. So yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm just trying to get it organized. I'm just trying to see if we can get a turnout and see if we can really do one. It's like I just been seeing a lot of alumni games, and I wanted to see, West do one, like a flag football, basketball, and softball, just for the baseball and softball seniors that wanted to come out and relive some of their glory days.
Like I said in the post, I need a knee brace, an ankle brace, and let me hit my cardio for about a week. I'll be good.
Hey, I'm telling you, man, I think it can happen though. Like, I really think if we just set up a time and a place for it, I think it can happen.
I think so too.
Even if we didn't use the campus itself, could we get the intramural fields next door?
Yeah.
Can you? Can you? I thought that was like a UT thing or whatever.
Well,
So.
the middle school and elementary school teams use those for practice. So we may have to throw some money out, but I don't think it'd be too much.
Nah, I don't think it'd be too much. So it'd be fun. It'd be fun. So.
Sell some tickets, and all funds go towards West Athletics.
Yeah, I know that a lot of the old players have been saying, well, I need to get some braces, like knee braces, ankle braces, and I know I'm right one of them too, so I got to make sure about that. So for sure.
Hey, all I'm saying is if my ass, who got ran over by an 18-wheeler, can still run, we'll be all right.
Yeah, for sure. So no, I'm all for it, and since there's been talk about it, it's kind of put a little pep in my step to get ready and get back in shape for it. So yeah, for sure. So, but Shane, last thoughts, man, as we wrap it up, brother.
Once again, congrats to all the grads this week. Congrats on your 4 years. Enjoy the rest of life. Put God first and do everything you do, and pursue your passion.
Amen. And I echo that. It's believe in God, and through Him, everything can be done. And believe in yourselves, and surround yourselves with positive people too. So, two pair, you know what's up, man. We always end it with that W being thrown up, because we know that Wes runs this thing in football, 5A, 536 days. But baby, we wrap it up with that W, and I want you to wrap us up like you always do, two pair style. Oh, mute. I think you're mute.
Love peace, chicken grease. Hey, it's Rebels with a cause, man. Y'all be cool. We'll see y'all on the other side. Throw them dubs up.
We out.